Oh man, well, beautiful people, best damn nation. It is Wednesday, and you know what time it is. It is the best damn wrestling podcast. I am your humble host, Brian Renegade, and with me, I have the best damn crew. First of all, this man could either be a thug or a superhero, depending on the time of day and night. He is the green-eyed bandit, the king of grapple. He's your mama's favorite wrestler, and he can whoop your daddy ass, Mr. Everything, Victor Andrews.
Yo, what up? What's going on, good people of the best damn wrestling podcast? And with me is El Capitan, the head honcho, the head of the table, the man with the master plan, the Brian Renegade.
Why, thank you. Appreciate that, my brother. Oh, man, in the building, he is a Lakers fan. He is a wrestling aficionado. He is the official Bake Bro. The one and only Senor Fuego himself, Chef Showtime. What's happening, Chef?
What's good?
Oh, man, we good, my brother. Blessed and highly favored, you know what I'm saying? As the old folks would say. Best damn nation, what's going on? Show us some love in the comment box. If you're watching this on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, all of those apparatuses, all those apps. Thank you for watching us. If you're listening to us on Radio Land, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Apple Music, Amazon Music, wherever you get your podcast, you can listen to the boys at the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast each and every Wednesday or whenever you want to in your leisure. We appreciate you guys' love, support, and all that jazz. Fellas, let me go around the board real quick. What's going on? What's happening, Mr. Everything?
Man, you already know I'm in the building. I'm at the gym. Got a couple of clients coming through, getting a little workout on. Out here making these dollars, making daddies holler, and making the mamas holler.
I hear you on that. Oh man, Chef Showtime, what's happening, my brother?
Same old, working hard, trying to get this money.
Oh man, Chef, the hardest working man in the show business, Jack. I would be remiss if I did not say what's going on to Beyonce's real baby daddy, the one and only entrepreneur of entrepreneurs. This man once had a dream, and Martin Luther King stole his whole speech from him. Just like Steve Harvey stole Mark Curtis. The one and only LP is in the building.
What's going on, man? How y'all brothers doing today?
Oh, we doing good, man. Can't call it. What's been happening with you?
Real quick. Can we go ahead and deem LP the Tony Stark of the best damn wrestling podcast? Hey, show them real quick. Show them one of the things that you made for when you do the photo shoots. One of them headpieces. Like you really put some thought into the stuff that you do. Show them it is one of them.
You can see some of the breastplates and headpieces right there on the wall. Handmade.
Tony Stark, man. Tony Stark.
Tony Stark.
I'm trying to get there.
Oh man. LP, you got a big show coming up, my brother. Tell the fans a little bit about your show that you got's coming up.
Oh yeah, just Back to the Future fashion show based on the. It's not based on the movie Back to the Future, but it's based on the theme. Decades of fashion, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 3000s. Just going through time and putting together a great show. I officially start this Sunday, so after that it'll be full. It'll be rolling full speed ahead.
Oh man! So if you got some time, go ahead and get your tickets for your boy LP, man. He's gonna be shutting down the city with another fashion show. We're excited about this one, man. Can't wait to see it. Mr. Everything, are you in this Back to the Future fashion show LP is throwing?
Man, I'm stuck in the past trying to get to the present just to see the future.
Mr. Cast the call again, LP. What we gonna do with
I
it?
missed it again. Look, wrestling takes all my time, man. That's the hardship about being a professional wrestler. That's hardship getting into everything. You can't be everywhere.
He won't be able to make none of the rehearsals or nothing. His schedule too crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He can't come in limping down the runway because somebody hit him with a leg kick. You know what I'm saying? Can't roll your kneecaps, Jack.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, well, Mr. Everything, listen, man. I want you to tell the peoples what we got's going on, man. We got a big interview for you guys.
Absolutely, man. We got an amazing guest happening with us tonight. My man Dontae Smiley, one of the greatest talents out there. Listen, we bring the best of the best of the best on here. That's why we call the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast, because we bring the best damn wrestlers of the independents of today, tomorrow, and yesterday. Daggone it. That's what we do. And tonight we got somebody that's no way short of one of the best damn wrestlers out there that should be signed by tomorrow, but they're playing. They're playing with us. They're playing with us. That's all. That's what they're doing. They're missing out. We're gonna bring the talent out here. We're gonna bring the talent to you. Don't even worry about it. They ain't gotta sign us. We come to y'all. How about that?
Oh man, so I'm excited about this interview with the one and only Dontae Smiley. We're gonna talk about him, about his wrestling career, a little bit about his music, his background, and all that jazz. So stay tuned. We got a hot one in the chamber for you, beautiful people. Can't wait to see it. Oh man, fellas, real quick. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I gotta get into it real quick. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson made a debut last week. Showed up on WWE television. And he said some things that were very interesting. One of them being that he was going to go out and going to sit at the head of the table. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. I ain't going to hold y'all, man. I know y'all waiting for it. Hold up. We got an esteemed guest in the building. Popping in this thing. Go ahead, Mr. Everything, and do the due diligence.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, take your attention off of whatever you're doing and put it on this man right here. He is not only a professional wrestler, he is a personal trainer, he is a music artist. He's one of the greatest artists of this generation. He's my man, my brother, my homie, Dontae Smiley. Welcome to the show, bro.
Hey, man, I appreciate y'all having me, bro. Thanks for reaching out. It's good to be with all you fellas.
Hey, no
problem.
Man. Hey, before we even get started, I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know something. The first time I met this man, he started talking. I looked behind me and was like, DMX? Where my dogs at?
My dogs at.
Fair play.
Yeah. So, Dontae, thank you again for joining the show. We're going to go ahead and introduce everybody so that way you know who you're talking to really quick, and then we're going to get right into the questions. Right up above me, right here, is our guru. He's been making predictions, and they becoming truthful every now and then. I wish he would predict when we're going to get signed.
Right.
He can predict it tomorrow. But it's LP right here above
wrong stuff if it ain't that.
Yeah, exactly, right? Right above him, we got our chef of the chefs of all the chefs who can cook you anything from a biscuit to a brisket. My man Showtime. And right above him is our Capitan, the one that runs the show, the one that put us all together. Our head honcho, our head of the table, Brian Renegade.
What's happening?
Nice, yeah. So
Oh, man.
is he actually a chef? Like for real, for real?
Absolutely.
Oh no, that's awesome. Hell yeah.
So we're gonna get right to it, man. Real first question. Yo, for those who have been sleeping on the rocks, living on a different planet, tell them who Dontae Smiley is.
Dontae Smiley, first and foremost, is a man of God. Dontae Smiley is a father. I am a husband, and those are the most important things I'll ever be for the rest of my life. But outside of that, some of the coats I wear are a published author. I have a bestseller on Amazon. And I got the receipts to that when I first dropped my book. That first week it was out, I was out selling the Young Bucks on Amazon. The only book that I was behind in the pro wrestling biographies category was actually Mox's book, because he literally released the same day that I did. And he was the only one that I was behind. So that's an awesome feat to be able to have, because only 1% of the world ever becomes a published author. So it was real cool to be able to dive into that. But even more so than that, I've been a musical artist since I was 18 years old. Formerly back, we're talking 2008 through about 2014, which is when I started wrestling. I was in the scene heavy. I was doing all the Texas tours with major artists when they were coming into town. Did Texas tours with like Waka Flocka. Had to go out to Austin. Did Machine Gun Kelly. I opened up for Travis Scott twice when he was here. One for a festival and one time at one of his main concerts that's at a place out here called Trees. And then I found wrestling, man. It kind of fell into my lap because I started a wrestling podcast with a buddy of mine. Actually, we call it Yes, It's a Wrestling Show. And we cover local indie scenes, some WWE, but more important, we wanted to focus on the indie scene. And that's actually how we got to get to training with the guy that we ended up meeting, Anthony Black, is because one night we went out and did some photography and videography work for a company in this area. Went out with him afterwards, kind of shooting the stuff. And then this chick named Ruthless Lala. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Ruthless Lala, but great wrestler. She's from Texas, gets around the United States doing what she does. But she's the one that linked us to Tony. And now, 9.5 going on 10 years later, the rest is history, man. I've been very blessed with a lot of dope opportunities wrestling-wise. I've been able to do a lot of stuff, as you have, Mr. Everything, that we understand that some people will never get to do, be it TV, be it travel internationally, be it face habitual stars on a regular basis, as we became some ourselves as we are, you know what I mean, with who we face in our associations and, what we've achieved, man. And I don't take that for granted, you know what I mean? That's why I work as hard as I do. That's why I sacrifice everything I possibly can, because not only do I owe it to God for putting me in the talents to be able to do this, but also, the 3 girls that I have outside of this door right here that are sacrificing even more so when I'm gone and whatnot, you know what I mean? And I take that to heart with my work ethic and everything that I try to put forth into this business.
Oh, man. Talk about being a girl dad. What are some of the beautiful things about being a girl dad, and what did you learn about having? You say you have 3 girls. Having 3 girls, man.
Yeah, 2 girls.
Okay.
Oh man, more than anything, I would say the biggest thing that I've had to learn, bro, is extreme emotional patience. The Taurus in me has a natural, very short fuse. I've got to control of that. I'm very at peace with a lot of stuff, so I don't get irritated very easily. I try not to let this world see me flinch in any kind of way. But I will say the extreme patience, because you realize that, especially once you have multiple, right? Like one, not too bad, but when you start having 2, and then you start seeing yourself in them, so to speak, and seeing your significant other in them, right? It's you versus you a lot of the time, and you got to talk to them a certain kind of way, because 1, they're not adults, so you can't talk to them like an adult, you know what I mean? And 2, that emotional bandwidth that they have as they're going through some of this life processes and learning experiences are the first time. So if they're acting up in a certain situation or letting something really get to them, it's probably the first time they face it, where we've faced it possibly hundreds of times, depending on what it is. And so it's really getting in tune with that and just getting a level of understanding on remembering that they're kids. And there's a lot of first times are coming emotionally, things we do outside in the world and all that kind of stuff. And you just have to have a lot of emotional bandwidth to make sure that you're ready for whatever comes. Because if you're not, then you might get irritated with some of it, and you just can't do that. You're a steward of a position. You got to grow these young individuals to be, great teenagers, to be great adults, or whatever it may be as time goes on. And so everything you do matters. Everything you say matters. Everything they see you do, that you have them do, the way you talk to them, the way they see you talk to your significant other, the way they see you treat people in public. All of that plays a great part in their learning process throughout life. And if you're somebody that treats people wrongfully or not with the utmost respect and love like we're supposed to, they're going to see that and they're going to take to that, and they're just going to be another version of you by the time they really start doing things themselves in the world,
Yeah, that's a great point, man. Here at the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast, we love love. You know what I'm saying? And more than everything, we love black love. And we like to give the wrestlers on this show an opportunity to talk about their significant other, man. Can you tell us how your wife has held you down in both your music and your wrestling career?
So I'm 35 right now. I met my wife my second semester of college. And so this is the spring of 2008 of my freshman year. That's when we met, and we've been together ever since. We have our 10-year and our wedding anniversary coming up in August on the 2nd. But more
congratulations.
than we've grown up together, right? Because even at 18 and 19, you're still kids figuring it out for the most part. You know what I mean? And that's what a lot of people really don't think about. And so we grew up together, and she's been with me through some of my worst stuff. You know what I mean? I've been through addictions in my past. I've been through situations where I couldn't get over past family fluff. You know what I mean? And she comes from a good nuclear home. You know what I mean? Mom and dad been married 35 plus years, something plus, somewhere around there, whatever it is. You know what I mean? She was a great school kid, graduated college, where I got bored and dropped out and started just focusing on music and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? But through it all, after I got over my addictions, after I got over my fluff, after I got saved, I asked her one time, why she stayed with me. You know what I mean? Why did she stay believing in me? And the one thing that she said is that she could see, number one, she could see more in me than I could in myself at that time. And she told me that she could see the version of me 3 to 5 years down the line that I was going to grow into, and really felt in her heart that what I was doing and going through in those moments in my early adult life were exactly that, early adult life situations. And she, believed in that maturity in me. And now we're doing well. You know what I mean? I'm one of the first people to own a business in my family. Technically the second. My grandma owned a daycare. I own a fitness training business. You know what I mean? I'm the first, like I say, published author in the family. I'm one of the only ones that isn't working like a 9-to-5 job. I work for nobody else, answer to nobody else. You know what I mean? And so it's a beautiful thing to kind of change that generational curses that were amongst my family at one point in time, and kind of change the legacy for my downline and on as they get older and have kids and so on and so forth, to really lay down the foundation and change of what the Smiley last name means, because namesake is really important to me. Namesake may not be important to a lot of people, but my dad was a proud Smiley, and he was one of the hardest workers. I've seen this man sell jewelry off of his fingers for me to be able to be in basketball tournaments and stuff. You know what I mean? He was that kind of, he was a hustler. He was a grinder, did whatever he could. So I had to take that and run with it and do greater than that as he raised me too. So now, watching me live out my dreams of being a professional wrestler and traveling the world, and seeing me on TV and just seeing me flourish in life, family, faith, finances, friends, associations, and all that is just music to his ears. You know what I'm saying? Because he's like, job well done to himself for raising me better than better than he was, as we all want to do as parents, is raise our kids better than how we were raised, and so on and so forth. Then be better than what we are and whatnot. So that's exactly it.
Oh man, that's awesome. You mentioned that you were saved. Can you talk about your your spiritual journey on your on your journey to enlightenment and to connect with your creator.
Yeah. So before 2017, like I was complete non-believer. It wasn't that like I was more of what they call agnostic, I guess, is what they call, where it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like if you believe,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Which like I get
Yeah.
that's my brother, you know what I'm saying? And like I get it because now that I've been on both sides, like I get it, you know what I mean? But something typically happens in somebody's life, like you say, that makes them feel enlightened and start seeing and calling on something higher than themselves, or believing in something higher than themselves, or really being priests to themselves and their environment. And what had happened was in 2016, it was in November 2016, I suffered my first major injury ever. We're 2 years into my wrestling career. I'm holding like 4 titles at the time. I'm 2 months away from going to Germany to work with Alex Wright, who used to be in WCW. He's out there in Nuremberg, Germany, and I was going to go work with him that January for like a week to train and be on a couple shows. And I dislocated my foot training one of my basketball clients. I was a skills coach and at a fitness connection out here, and I dislocated my foot. And when I had everything stripped, when I was in college, I used to have a bad pill addiction at one point in time when I was in college. And I got over all that, you know, but when I got injured, the first thing that obviously doctors do is give you pills, especially on a dislocation when they got to aggressively adjust it and all that kind of stuff. Right. And then I went back down that rabbit hole and started getting really depressed, started getting really suicidal. And kind of didn't know what to do. I'm going off on everybody. I'm kind of losing myself because at that time, everything that I was wrapped in what I did, not who I was. You know what I mean? And there was just one day where I was just honest with my wife about how I was feeling in one moment when I was having some bad thoughts go through my head, some suicidal thoughts. And she was like, you know, like I've tried to help you. But she's like, I don't know what else to do. You don't want to go to therapy. You ain't really expressing what you're feeling to me and all that kind of stuff. Cause like I was locked into myself and my mind and everything that was going on in there. And I had a client named Ali Makahi and that I trained in fitness. And every week she would give me a church invite card. I never went for years. Like I had this lady train me for 2.5 years, never went. She habitually gave me one of those invite cards every week. And I'm a person that like the cards, I typically didn't keep them, but for whatever reason, this day there was one that was still in my wallet. So after I talked to my wife, I went to my wallet and I saw that card in there. And it was kind of like a last ditch effort to find something, you know what I mean? Because I didn't know what else to do, you know? And so that following Sunday, we went to the church that we went to, which is Elevate Life Church out here in Frisco, Texas. And ever since then, I haven't stopped going. If I'm within 8 hours on an event on a Saturday, I'll drive back overnight just to make sure that I'm in church on that Sunday morning. You know what I mean? I've become a big part because I never want to go back to that feeling that I had before. You know what I mean? So I just try to stay real intentional and stay real in the thick of it. As far as my involvement in church, because I do 100% believe that me giving my life and getting saved in this, in Christ and all that, saved my life. You know what I mean? Like I know it's kind of cliche because that's what every Christian, Jesus believer says. But I mean, it's a God the honest truth because I was on a very, very dark and bad path and had a cloud over my head up until that point. And the moment I walked into that church, I felt a relief like I never felt before. And I made sure that I didn't ignore that key that I got at that moment, that download that I got in that moment. And I stayed true ever since.
Oh man, that's a beautiful answer, man. Chef Showtime got a question for you. Go ahead, Chef.
What 2 belts are you holding back there? I see them 2 belts.
So the white one is the main OIWA International Heavyweight Championship. I've been that champion for the better half of 3 years. I had it for a little over 2, and then I relinquished it because we were supposed to go on that CYN tour when me and Andrews was part of CYN, and we were getting ready to go on that tour before Braun Strowman got re-signed by the E. Then the tour got canceled. So then I came back and ended up actually winning again. This black one is the OIWA International Heavyweight Championship, but this is a custom one that Sir Mo from Men on the Mission made me because he's the one that runs the OIWA, and he made me that custom black one, for the work I put in as I've been championing a lot of the stuff that I did backstage, because I told him I wanted the black leather. So he gifted me with that one as, my personal one. So the moment, God willing, forbid, anybody beats me, whenever that happens, they're getting that white one. That black one's going in the case, because that black one's like my version of the Brahma Bull belt.
I dig that. We got Sir Mo on the show tomorrow, man. You got a question that you want us to ask Sir Mo?
Ask Sir Mo, who is the one wrestler that he thinks is the most looked over currently on the independent scene?
Okay. All right, that's a good question. Yes.
Myself and a lot of others that he has brought in that I face, that he's got relationships with, and I'll be interested to see who he says.
Will you be mad if he doesn't say your name?
Not at all. There's a lot of good wrestlers. I'm not interested in the fact that there's a lot of good wrestlers out there. You know what I mean? But I want to, because he's probably 100% gonna say me. I'll be surprised if he doesn't. But it's his reason why, because he's a very intricate person and pays attention to a lot of detail in the game, right? It's not just the wrestlers, but the game of wrestling, from promoters to how, and stories that he hears when people go to the AEW or NWA or WWE, and what people go through to be able to get there, or what people barely go through to be able to get in some of these spots as well. You know what I mean? And whatnot. So, and he has a very good mind for that kind of stuff, and has very good opinions about that kind of stuff. So if he's on tomorrow, I would definitely look at really picking his brain on the game of wrestling, bro, because he loves sharing it. And the thing is, you'll get honest answers. You ain't gonna get no fabricated, sugarcoated, I'm not trying to break the internet type answer. He's gonna keep it real with you, as I will. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh man, that's a good one. Oh man, I gotta go to the resident. Go ahead, Chef Showtime.
I have one more question. If you get to pick one dream match from the past or present, who would you face?
One dream match from the past to present? Man, I think because my most influential, bro, is Randy Orton, bro. I mean, Randy Orton, everything about him, right? He doesn't miss. If he ain't injured, he ain't missing. You know what I'm saying? You can't really tell me a bad match that he's had, to be honest, in a very, very long time for the most part. But he's also been one of my favorites for a very long time. Obviously, I'm an Attitude Era kid. Like I said, I was born in '88, so the mid-'90s, late '90s is really when I was deep into wrestling, all the figures, all the shirts, every Monday Night Raw. And so The Rock is very influential, obviously, as well, and one of my favorites. But more than anything, bro, I would be able to die a happy death, being able to face Randy Orton at least one time. You know what I mean? And the crazy thing about it, those kind of matches aren't far-fetched. You know what I'm saying? They're not. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, right place, right time, so the right things can happen. So you just stay grinding and whatnot, and I stay believing, and I'm going to just always stay doing the work, because that's the one thing I can't control is my effort, the emailing, the showing up, the presentation, keeping myself in shape, keeping myself healthy, and making sure every time I step in that ring, I put it on a high-quality match. You know what I mean? Because as it goes, you're only as good as your last match was, so you have to perform every single time that you're out there and put on a top match as best as possible for whatever that story is calling for.
Oh man, go to the villain of the Best Damn Wrestling Podcast, LP.
I want to ask, what you've been saved in the religion. Does that ever affect storylines that you have to do, or do you ever be I don't want to do that because of this or that, or do you keep it separate? How do you go about that?
Yes. So funny story. It has, and I've denied storylines. I've denied certain promo type pitches and stuff like that a multitude of times. Mainly it's been because more so not on the sides of really that, but I remember one time I was pitched to do this chick approaching me type scene, and the cameras kind of catching me with her at a bar, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? It was something like that. I can't remember because it was 4 or 5 years ago. About 4 years ago when I was pitched it. So we're talking 2020, 2019. But it was something of the sort where they wanted me to seem like I was having relations with a woman for storyline purposes, and Macho Man Hulk Hogan and Miss Elizabeth type stuff. And I was completely did not want to do that because I'm married and that's not a thing. Real life ain't no gimmick to me. You know what I'm saying? And people know I'm married. I'm happily married. And so I wasn't going to disrespect my wife by doing something like that because I feel like that's what stuff like that would be doing. And there's no way that I was remotely going to do that and have anybody remotely thinking anything of any sort, one little bit about that kind of stuff when it comes to me. My integrity is way more important than a little promo pitch that's going to get maybe 10,000 views. You know what I'm saying? It's like that stuff ain't worth it. No, so yeah, I'm 100%. But anytime I've had like 2 situations like that, but that's about the extent of me denying a storyline based off of something that is in my private, personal life.
Was it a hard decision, or was it something you right then? You're like, nope, ain't no debate, ain't no change in my mind, nothing.
Right away, I was like, I can't do that. Like that's exactly. I think that was my exact answer to him. I was like, I can't do that. I was like, you know who I am. I was like, you know what I'm about. He was like, I was just saying if you, I was just trying to test you and see what you would say. I was like, no, you weren't. You wanted me to do it because you thought it was gonna be a good story, but I'm not, dude. It was right off the rip that I was denying that 100%.
Is that
trying to test your gangster? They know black men don't cheat.
Right? Yeah.
Is there more on the independent side of things where you can deny stuff like that? Because I've seen, let's say the WWE side, where I've seen guys do stuff where I know they didn't want to do it, but they did it. So is it different? Is it different when you're signed with like a bigger company versus independent? Like I'm pretty sure JR didn't want to kiss Vince McMahon butt on right. or stuff like that when they did it. So is there a difference when it comes to that, or? I'm just talking about in general. Like, is there a difference even with the business when independents can say no, and if you're on a bigger roster, you can't, or it's the same thing regardless?
Well, like it's the same thing regardless, because you can say no anywhere because we have free will in this world. They might feel like they can't say a certain thing because they're scared they're going to lose opportunity, lose money, or lose something in the situation. So it's it's a what's it worth to you situation. For some people, their integrity isn't worth it. You know what I'm saying? Because life is bigger than all this, right? Like the grand scheme of life is bigger than anything that happens in professional wrestling. We have to remember that. And because you got to answer to people, you know what I'm saying? So back in the day, it was a lot more people willing to bend over backwards. And this is based off stories that I've heard on how the game worked, where people were willing to risk it for the biscuit to get that elbow rub or get that push. But nowadays, I feel like even at the majors, they respect game a lot more when it comes to what happens in people's personal life because they have to, because social media exists now. So everybody sees who people are married to, even if they're not married to another wrestler. They see the wife, they see the kids, they see this person, playing Barbies. Tommaso Ciampa posts his daughters all the time, and he's in there getting his nails painted and playing with his Barbies with his daughter and that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's easier and more well respected to be like, I'm not going to do that. And it'd be like, okay, rather than back in the day when I don't think it used to be so much like that, right? Because once again, with social media, you can't hide from anything. WWE pulled that curtain back when they had that NXT show that they had way back in the Breaking Ground or something like that, if I remember what it was called. And so that's when the curtain really got pulled back on this business, right? Because they were doing all the behind scenes stuff and building of matches and all of that. And so ever since then, everybody's been like, all right, screw it, kayfabe what? Yeah, ever since then, and it just deploying whoever they genuinely are all over social medias and not really sticking to the gimmick on social media as well.
Okay.
Oh man, what's the biggest lesson that you learned since becoming champion?
Ooh, the biggest lesson I would say that I've learned being champion would be not everybody that seems happy for you is happy for you.
That's good. Boy, you preaching today.
Well, because here's the thing, right? At every single company, there is one top spot. One. At every company, there's a top spot. in the OIWA organization that has multiple companies under it. We got like four or five companies under the OIWA umbrella. So this title is the number one title of the organization. So I'm the champion of all the champions when it comes to the organization. And that's the foundation, right? But then at SOAR, you got the SOAR heavyweight champion. At CKW, you got the CKW heavyweight champion. At SCW, you got the SCW heavyweight champion. So them at their promotions is the number one spot. And there's still only one for that said company. Not the organization, but there is for the organization, but for that said company. There's only one women's title in the organization. So there's only one women's spot. There's only one top spot for the tag teams. So you know what I'm saying? So people would be idiotic, to be honest, to not be somewhat of like, damn, I want that when it comes to that title. You know what I mean? Or at least to be in a match with me with that title, because I generate good social media presence and my videos get real good plays on YouTube and things like that. So I can literally just get more eyes on them if that's the case, with the audience that I've been able to build for myself and that we've built as the organization as well, with everybody that's a part of it, from from the people that just help set up as far as our students go, all the way to Sir Mo and Jason Maldonado that run the organization. And so, yeah, but there's been some people that I thought were close, and I've seen it through other situations where jealousy kind of happened between friends for no reason other than wearing emotions on sleeve and forgetting that it's not about them, and forgetting wrestling is a work at the end of the day. And like the Iron Claw said, people get chosen for positions based off whatever the promoter feels to be in said position, and they get to stay in that position for however long said promoter wants them to. You know what I mean? And it's all about value at the end of the day too. How much value do you bring overall, right? Can you be the guy? Can they send you to schools and do these talks if they need to? How's your social media presence? Do you present yourself as a professional? Do you show up to every show in sweats, or do you dress up to every show without being asked? You know what I'm saying? And that all the pieces, right, make up what it takes to be a top guy. And not everybody is fit for that like they think they are. And not everybody is willing to change themselves to be fit for that position and would like to stay how they are and be in that position. And it just doesn't work like that overall at every company.
You talked about your last name and leaving a legacy of respect for your last name. What does it mean to carry on that tradition of the Smiley name to you and your family?
Well, it means a lot because the Smiley last name is one. So I'm from Oklahoma City, technically. That's where I was born. I've been in Texas since I was 3 years old. But I was born in Oklahoma City, and all my family from there, so all my upline from some part of Oklahoma. And the Smiley last name, as dope sounding as it is and as ear catching as it is, ain't worth shit. To be honest, like in the past, like grandfather was hard worker, but like 9 to 5 was gone all the time. You know what I mean? And whatnot. My dad was a hard worker. His siblings, I have family members that were former prison, crack addicts. Like that was synonymous with the Smiley last name up until really my dad met my mom and kind of took him out of that at one point in time. Mind you, my parents ain't together anymore, but my dad meeting my mom kind of from the burbs area of Oklahoma, but she took my dad out of that environment to help change him. And then in turn, I saw my dad work hard, like I said, selling rings off his finger, chains off his neck to be able to pay $500 for me to be in a tournament down at UT that a college scouts are going to be at. You know what I mean? But I wanted to even do more than that. And so I wanted to be the first one to genuinely live life on my means, chasing something that I've always wanted to do. You know what I mean? Not do stuff because it's what I had to do to be able to provide, but provide being able to do whatever I want to do in my life with chasing this dream. And so that's what changing it is for me, man. And that's exactly what it is a legacy changer. And that's a conversation that my dad and I actually had recently. You know what I mean? I got Smiley tattooed like Jersey style on my back real big and like graffiti brick style. And because I like genuinely wanted to wear it on my back, you know what I mean? I'm proud of my last name. I was proud of what my dad did for me and my mom as well. You know what I mean? They split when I was like 4 or 5 years old. But both of them were very hardworking individuals. But I didn't want to I didn't want to be a 9-to-5 hardworking individual. I wanted to be able to show people that you could do more. You could be bigger than this. You can achieve your dreams. You don't have to succumb to this job just to be able to provide if you really want to go out there and get it. And I just put my head down and grind it from the music, you know, flowing into wrestling, flowing into fitness, and just nonstop all go. You know what I mean? My schedule is crazy as far as everything, you know, that I do throughout my life to, you know, make up what Dontae Smiley does and how I provide for my family. But it's all stuff that I want to do on my means, you know what I mean? Because it's all stuff that I love and things that I'm gravely passionate about.
Absolutely. We mentioned Sir Mo a little bit earlier, man. Do you believe that Sir Mo belongs in the WWE Hall of Fame?
Belongs in the WWE Hall of Fame? I think he does. I think because Man and Mission, you got to remember, they were one of the top black tag teams of that time. That's what people forget, you know what I mean? Because everybody looks at Mabel all the time, which rightfully so, to do with ginormous, right? Like, so he stuck out like a sore thumb. Like every tag team kind of has, you know, the guy that does the comeback and the guy that takes the heat. You know what I'm saying? That's stereotypically how it goes. And Mo was the heat taker. He'll get in there and do some fast stuff and take it. But Men on the Mission was a legendary tag team. You know what I'm saying? They faced Diesel. They faced Shawn Michaels. They faced all them like all the cats people enamor over. You know what I'm saying? The only thing is, they were black during this time. If we're being completely honest, and those times are way different than now, and what, especially back then. You know what I'm saying? And so it was hard for him, man, because you had to walk on very, 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 very thin glass to remotely get a corner piece of a chicken leg. You know what I'm saying? Or
Right.
get any. And so yeah, I would definitely say so, man, because Men on the Mission, they're one of the first rapping gimmicks of WWE. And how many rap gimmicks have they had since then? A lot. Men on the Mission did that. You know what I'm saying? And so on and so forth. And so I think respect is due in that circumstance. You know what I mean? They had one tag team championship run, so it ain't like they had a lot. But just like any other sport, you don't need to win championships to be able to make the Hall of Fame. It's about influence and what you achieved with the time that you did in the times that you did.
Right. I absolutely agree with you on that, man. Well, you just mentioned something about music, right? When did you first fall in love with music, and where did your musical influences come from?
I first fell in love with music as far as listening when I was probably, I would say, 8, 9 years old. And because of my brother, actually, he had huge zip folders, you know, with the inserts to put CDs in, but like boxes of those big folders. And I mean, my brother listened to everything from Marilyn Manson to Tupac to Shania Twain to Garth Brooks. He just loved music. He could play 4 or 5 instruments himself as well. Like, so he was very, very smart and had great sound and you know, genre love. He was definitely non-discriminatory when it came to the genres of music that he listened to. But as far as doing it, it was, you know, me and one of my homeboys, Antonio, back in high school, downloaded this program called Audacity, got a USB plug-in mic, and we just got into freestyling at the tables when Clips came out with that song Grinding.
Grinding, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Doing it on the table. Mm-hmm. And so we used to freestyle with one of our coaches all the time. We used to stay freestyling at the tables. And then finally we were like, man, let's start actually recording. You know what I'm saying? And it was something that I actually like took and ran with ultimately even after that, because when I got in college, I never stopped. You know what I'm saying? And we recorded our first track during my senior year, and I was already 18 at this time. So I was 18 when I recorded my first one. But even my freshman year, the first thing that I did was go pick up some equipment, put it in the dorm with me. When I moved to an apartment my second year, I upgraded everything because now I have my own room and kind of started expanding. And, you know, I was out there in Denton throwing shows at like Haley's and Andy's and Rubber Gloves. And really, I was one of the backpack rappers at the time when that was the thing to be said. because then it was really split. You had like your like, I'm gonna call it spade a spade. The white boy rappers that were over here, so they were doing like the Beastie Boys style kind of rap, the boom bap type rap, and then you had the street rappers like. You go over there at a certain time if you know people, you know what I'm saying? And I came in, and I'm cool with everybody. So I was doing tracks with them over here. I was doing tracks with them over here. And so when I do shows, I was bringing all this together, from the backpack rappers to the college kids to the boom bap rappers that were over here, to the street rappers that were over here, and putting us all in one spot and really, cultivating a community of hip hop artists that were from different areas that could really coincide and throw shows that people would come out to and people would enjoy with no drama. And that's exactly what I was able to do. And then I started getting a little bit more popular, performing South by Southwest out in Austin, which I don't know if y'all are familiar with South by Southwest, but it comes through Texas outside of also Austin city limits. But started being official artist for that like 3 years in a row. Like I say, when major artists were coming into town, I was opening up for them at the big venues out here. Travis Scott, Casey Veggies, Waka Flocka, a whole bunch of people that were out in this area. You know what I mean? It was real crazy. And then got into some stuff. I took meetings out in LA at one point in time and got out there, did some stuff I shouldn't have been doing out there drug-wise. And it was like from that moment on seeing how the entertainment business was and how people really like survive in it and what they get offered and the influences. There's a reason I haven't been back to LA ever since this point. You know what I'm saying? I had opportunities to, but I had this dark cloud that was over me. And that's when really weird, bad stuff kind of like started happening all around me, not to me, but around me. And I heeded that knowledge and kind of saw everything for what it was. And so then something happened at a show. A big fight broke out for the first time when I've been throwing shows for 7-8 years at this point. And it literally in an instance took my love away from music for a good while. This is in 2014 when that happened. And so I stopped doing music from 2014 to 2017. I just wanted nothing to do with it after this situation happened. I wanted to remove myself from what I saw myself becoming, because I realized I needed to mature if that's what I wanted to be able to handle myself in that business and the influences that come along with it. Because I wasn't at that time, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't ready for that more success is really what it was. Like I knew I wasn't ready for more success, or else I would have had it. And I'm glad it got noticed and I didn't get it at that time, because I may not be alive right now, to be 100% honest, if that was the case. But I took those years off, and then I came back more matured, more life, and been hitting the ground running ever since. Anytime I still throw shows every now and then. I was in Austin earlier this year to do a festival and whatnot. I'm about to release an album actually next Friday. I'm going to be releasing the cover art, the track list, and a video this Friday on my social medias. Album dropping next Friday. Album titled "It Is What It Is." Oh, I said what I said. I got an EP later dropping that it is what it is, but this one is I said what I said, and it's going to be a very in your face album. I'm calling a spade, and a lot of stuff that I say is very real world versus spiritual world, and the battle that really comes with that, with life influences, because we're human and we're all going to fall short of the stick. And I talk about that kind of stuff in some of the songs. And it's my best project, man. The dude that I had to executive produce it, this guy named Trevor Lawson out here that's been in the music business for a long time and managed and EP'd a lot of artists. He's been around me for a long time, but this is the second time that we're actually working together. But he's heard probably 10 or 12 of the projects that I've dropped since I met him back in 2009. And he's like, this, if nothing comes of this, it might not happen type situation. You know what I mean? Because he was like, you got some stuff on this that should definitely get a lot of traction. So we just got to get it in the right hands, get some of these to the DJs, get some of them to some of the radios. It's not club music. I'm definitely a storytelling, very relational artist in how I speak and how I rap and the influence I'm trying to make with my music. So it ain't going to be played in clubs and stuff like that, but radio DJs, I definitely, want to get it to and get it on some of these Spotify playlists and stuff like that. That way, and blogs that are still out there that people post on and people go listen to. So I'm really excited about this release than I have been for the last few releases that I've released since being back.
I don't know what you talking about, brother, man. You sent us a banger. And I got to play it for the people. You talking about it ain't gonna get played in clubs. You crazy. You can feel free to perform along with the song because we love music, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna vibe along with you, my friend. You know what I'm saying? But I got to play a little snippet of this song that you gave us. Apex, man. I was listening to it. I was like, this is fire right here. So yeah, talking about so they ain't gonna get played in the club. Best Damn Nation, I'm gonna let you be the judge of that. I'm gonna go ahead and play the track, man. Like I said, brother, you can feel free to perform to it if you want to.
Sound good.
It's time to run it up. It's time to run it up. It's time to run it up. If you wanna fight, look, if you buck,
man, I've been built different since I stepped onto the scene. Big Smiley 101, yet they try to copy me. That's why they call me the Apex on an island of my own. G-O-A-P, let's be real, that's been known. Cause I've been built different since my birth in 88. My father always told me I was gonna be great. Now the world gets to see me raise the bar on the daily, real life. Ain't no gimmick, that's the motto, ain't no faking. Last name ever, first name greatest. Born with the crown, that's why they call me the Apex. Winning so familiar, taking L's is foreign. I'm in this game forever. In 14 I got sworn in, 3 fingers raised. Now I ain't banging around the cities that I'm from. They the cities that made me. Grew up fighting Discord circles, nothing new. Now I stomp a chest and drop a head and get paid too. My how things have changed over all the years. Boys think they bout it, but God is the only man I fear. Gold belt collecting, hater block wearing, real shining bright, succeeding, not caring what they saying. Man, I've been built different since I stepped onto the scene. Big Smiley 101, yet they try to copy me. That's why they call me the Apex on an island of my own. G-O-A-T, let's be real, that's been known. Cause I've been built different since my birth in 88. My father always told me I was gonna be great. Now the world gets to see me raise the bar on the daily, real life. Ain't no gimmick, that's the motto.
Being different.
Built different.
Yeah.
What you talk about? That's a flavor right there, boy.
That was fun. So funny thing, right? As a wrestler throughout my career, I've never used non-original music outside of my own or some of my rap friends that I've known, obviously, since I've been in the game. I always either put them on or have one of my own tracks as my interest music. I never once in my career from day one have used any mainstream song as my interest music.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That is awesome. You can walk down like, yeah, I made this. Download it on Spotify, iTunes.
Right. Now, I've done a couple tracks from some other people as well, too. So it's been real cool that people wanted me to do that kind of stuff. Because I'll do, they don't call them jingles anymore, but pretty much jingles for businesses and stuff, maybe for their podcast or for a commercial they're doing and stuff like that. I've done like all that as the artist as well. So that's pretty cool too, to kind of have that as little side jobs and side quests to do, just for fun when people need it. So it's been dope, man. Blessed me with a lot.
Man, we ever need one for the show, I'm calling you.
Yeah, let me know. Definitely, bro. Let me know. I love it. I love it, man. Music was the first thing that I was like over the top passionate and gung-ho about. Music and wrestling, you know what I'm saying? But music was the first love. I loved basketball when I was playing it, and all that kind of stuff growing up, sports and whatnot. But as far as something where I was like, I could do this, I want to do this, and I want to do everything I can to do this, music has been that thing since I was 18 years old, you know what I mean? And like I say, outside of that 3 years, that's never gone away. I love doing it. I feel like music is one of the top means that you could touch almost every single person in this world, right? Because it's out there and it's going nowhere. We listen to music from 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. It's timeless. And so it never gets lost in the shuffle of anything. And that's what I love about music, because it allows you to relate to individuals, man. There's nothing like even controlling a wrestling crowd is dope in itself, but it's dope in a different kind of way than standing in front of thousands of people rapping a song that's rapping it back to you, or you telling them to put their hands up and they put their hands up, and just seeing in unison everything happen and seeing relate and seeing people cry. Oh man, it's wild, man. It's a whole different experience being a musical artist as a performer there than even as a wrestler. They both have different ways that they're very similar, but also very different when it comes to really connecting with a crowd and getting on the same wavelength with the people that are paying to watch you in those moments.
Absolutely, man. I love how music really speaks to the character. How does your music speak to your character?
It does, because that's what I say. I'm built different, you know what I mean? Especially with that song, because anytime I change, I'm gonna change my song with it. You know what I mean? If I'm changing gimmicks, and right now I'm in that build different mode. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is I operate as a one of one, right? I don't get caught in what anybody else is doing. I could care less, because if I give that situation over there what they got going 10% of my attention, that's 10% less that I have to focus on me. And I think it takes a build different mindset to be able to do that. When I hit the gym 5 out of 7 days a week and train exactly how I have to train to be able to keep myself healthy and keep myself strong and looking good for TV, I have the discipline where I don't need somebody to tell me to go. I have the discipline where people don't need to tell me to eat right. Granted, I'm a trainer, so obviously I'm going to be disciplined because I'm telling other people to as well. But at the same time, it takes a different mindset to really get in tune with being like, okay, my friends aren't on the same fitness journey that I am. Those other wrestlers aren't on the same fitness journey as I am, and so on and so forth. It takes a different mindset for that. And I correlate it to a lot of aspects of life with the way I operate that a lot of other people don't operate like that. And that's where the whole built different mindset for myself and the definition that I've given that word to myself in the song with the things that I do, that's how it goes.
What do you want people to know about you? If people are just finding you out for the first time and they're trying to find out who you are and why should they get behind you and support your character and your growth, what do you want people to know about you?
I would say more than anything is that it's not about the one thing, it's about the all things, and I'm about the all things. So I'm a person where you will look at me, you might find me as a wrestler, but the moment you click on anything, you're going to see everything else. Some people find me as a fitness coach, they click on the thing, they see me in everything else. I'm living proof that you can live life by your means when you realize that it's about all the things and not just the one thing. Life is bigger than the thing, right? It's all this. How you operate with people, how you operate deploying your 1% that God has given you in this universe and making sure and acting on it. A lot of people are afraid to act when it comes to them getting some kind of download with an opportunity, right? Because opportunities only last for the lifetime of that said opportunity. Opportunities do not always come back around. I hate when people say that. Oh, if you miss it, it'll come back around. That's the biggest lie that people have ever been told. Opportunities don't always come back around. Sometimes you miss it and you'll never see it again. And so you really have to seize those opportunities in the lifetime of that opportunity. And the only way you can do that is if you're thinking on a greater scale about doing all the things that you've kind of, wanted to do and being fearless, obviously, in that pursuit. And it may not be something like wrestling. It may be going back to school and finishing a degree. You know what I mean? Or something of the sort. It may be mending a relationship with your mom because you're holding on to it, but you could possibly be the only one holding on to it. There's an enormous amount of things that could be, but we have to be able to be in tune with ourselves to be able to realize that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. We're going to have to let Chef Showtime go. Real quick, Chef, let the people know where they can find you.
And you guys can find me on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter as Chef Showtime or Dontae Carter.
All right.
Yes,
Sign off, Chef. I'll see you later. On behalf of Chef, man, I know that you mentioned your fitness journey, right?
Yes,
what are some things that people at home can do to try to get back in shape for this year?
To be honest, it's number one is saying yes to yourself. Because if they haven't been, then they've been saying no, because it's probably something that they thought to themselves before that they needed to do and just never acted on. So don't be afraid to say yes. Is it scary? Yes. But getting unhealthy and fighting things later in life is scary as well, right? It's like the situation of saying all things are hard. Being out of shape is hard because you're out of shape and everything is going to be hard. But also being in shape is hard as well because you have to have a great level of discipline and show up every single day, regardless of how you feel in that moment, to do the work, regardless. You know what I mean? It may not be perfect, but you always got to show up. So hard is hard across the board. And so say yes to yourself and just take that one step and do it the one time. Go once. Be it apartment gym, be it you do 25 air squats and 25 push-ups or 25 squats and you go walk a mile or whatever it may be. Say yes and go do it once. And day number 2, do it again. Say yes again. Day number 3, say yes again. And just stop denying yourself and keep saying yes to you every single day because nobody can want personal growth for themselves more than that individual. You know what I mean? That individual has to want it. And but you got to show up for yourself always because whenever you bring your greatest you into the world, you give your greatest to others. And that's what the world needs is everybody's greatest version and most pristine version and self-personal growth version every day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We got Mr. Everything on the show. We like to do this thing every once in a while. I don't know what it is about Mr. Everything. He got a beef with most of the wrestlers that come on this show. I don't know what it is, but he always has a few things to say. If you would mind entertaining Mr. Everything, we got to go to promo school real quick. And Mr. Everything has some things personally that he would like to say to you. I guess when you guys next meet. So, beautiful people, prepare yourself because we're going to the best damn promo school.
And look, man, look. Dontae going first. Let him go first. I'm gonna do this like what was the name of the movie? 3 Mile. What was the movie?
3 Mile?
No. 8 Mile. Yeah, 8 Mile. Let him go first.
I'll let him go up.
So here's what's funny about this situation. This man, Mr. Everything right here, can't even remember the movie that he's trying to say to make me go first. You know what? He's damn right. I should go first. You know why? Because I have those. Matter of fact, Mr. Everything knows, just like everybody else that has crossed primetime Dontae Smiley's path, that they have gone down, including him. Because over here is different. At the level that I'm at, is different. Everything I do is different because I can do everything everybody else can. Everybody cannot do what primetime Dontae Smiley does because real life ain't no gimmick.
You heard me.
Okay, I understand. I understand that when you think that it's your time, you call yourself the prime time. And the thing about you, Dontae, is yes, you can do everything that you do, but you can't do everything that I do. Because that's why they call me Mr. Everything, because I'm capable of doing every and anything. And you may say, and I see Kaz rolling your head, that I can do everything except beat you. But however, you didn't beat me, Dontae. You stole a win. Like everybody else does that steps in the ring with Mr. Everything, they steal a win. They never beat me. They always steal a win. And that's fine and dandy because when we cross paths again, Dontae, I know exactly where your mindset is. I know what you are capable of. I know what you're willing to do. And I'm not going to waste any prime time to let you get that win again. Because when we step in the ring again, you're gonna do one thing for me, and I say my name loud and proud and with conviction, or you would keep my name out your mouth. That's promo school, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, real talk.
Man,
Real
it's
quick,
getting hot.
real quick. I've been connected with Sir Mo for a very long time. He saw me at a show in North Carolina, and my son's mother went and spoke to him after my match, and he gave me this autographed picture of him and Big Daddy V. May he rest in peace. And on the back of it, he was like, "Your great match, wrestling Messiah, Black Jesus." And he has called me Black Jesus ever since. Even
He does.
when I was there, he was like, "Yo, that's Black Jesus." And I don't
That's
nobody
funny.
do nothing wrong, because that's Black Jesus right there. Y'all gonna be in trouble. And I stayed in contact with him, and I connected with him, and he connected me to Jason. And Jason invited me out to Arkansas. And of course, anybody that wants to get an opportunity in SOAR, OIWA, Chaotic Kingdom, Lit, wherever, you got to go through this man right here. You have to go through this man right here, because he is the elite of the entire locker room, the entire company, the entire organization. And they put me through that test. They said, "Yo, we're going to put him in there with Dontae and see how he does." And from that moment on, it was like this.
100%.
It was like this. And Jason has been in contact with me ever since, and they bring me back as much as possible.
Yep.
Sir Mo is bringing me down to Texas in June, and I'm excited. We got Germany, June 29th.
Yeah, I'll go up there in April as well. 420, I'll be up there in that exact same spot, because they're sending me up there. They're like, "Hey, we need you to go up there, test it out before we have all these people buy tickets to go."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'll be out there on 420 defending the title as well, and seeing what this company is about, seeing how their locker room is. That way I can come back and relay the information to everybody. But yeah, it's going to be great, man. And that's the one thing about Mo, man. He's the most unselfish person ever, dude. The most unselfish person ever. He always tries to create opportunities for people in his collective that is close to him and on the outside. If he feels like you're somebody of value and you bring value, it won't crap on his name by him sticking his neck out for you. He's going to try to get you an opportunity 100%. And there's a lot of people out there that talk big game and say they'll do stuff like that, but not really do it. Mo's all about action. He's very little about talk, all about action, on making sure he puts the people that he believes in the most proper position for them to really either level up, take it to the next level, be viewed at a certain level, or whatever it may be. And that is a rarity in this game these days. That is very big rarity in this game. But luckily, people like myself and people like Andrews, we got him on our side, you know what I mean? Because it's rare and it's special, and getting to do life with the locker room that we have. Because I take that serious, as he said. He knows that I'm big on locker room leadership. I'm big on locker room culture, because I think there needs to be a certain atmosphere in a locker room for when these people like himself comes visit or whatever, they feel like family automatically. The greatest thing that I hate is going into the locker room and feel like I got to sit by myself like I'm some weirdo on a bus. You know what I'm saying? Because it happens at some companies, because people, not everywhere do they make you feel welcome. You know what I'm saying? But it don't matter who we bring it in, bro. I don't feel threatened by anybody. You come into the locker room, you automatically family me unless you don't want to be, which is totally fine. But we're going to invite you to everything. We're going to do the show. Everything's going to be good. Everybody have good matches. Then it's like, hey, we're going to eat over here afterwards. You want to come to the restaurant with us? You want to come over here with us? When are you leaving tomorrow? Do you want to go work out in the morning before you leave? And everything of the sort, because we want people to feel like they're family when they're a part of our locker room, because to me, they are. And I make sure all the locker room follow suits in those situations, and they automatically know, because that standard presentation and core values has been long set, and they've adhered to that already.
Absolutely.
Could we see a possible tag team with Dontae Smiley and Mr. Everything Victor Andrews?
This is professional wrestling. Anything could happen. We're two beautiful black men, so of course it could possibly happen. You know what I mean? Of course it could possibly happen. You never know. Because, I don't like seeing things happen to certain people. You know what I mean? Mr. Everything, he be around. You know what I'm saying? So he's somebody that if somebody's trying to do him wrong, he's somebody I would help, and I hope he feels the same way. And if it came down to it, then we'll mollywop any other two people that we would have to if we had to.
Absolutely. Listen, if that ever happens between me and Dontae, you can forget about the entire tag team division of every company, because they're gonna be like, look, we can't keep up, we can't breathe, our bodies hurt, our lungs hurt, my heart hurt. Listen, I got pain in my veins. I don't even know how that's possible. That's what's gonna happen to him. Okay, because you guys need to check out Dontae's workouts. And do you have anything on video? You have a couple of things on video, right?
Oh yeah, I got a few things. I mean, on Facebook, on Instagram, type in Dontae Smiley, they'll be able to find it. Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. You guys need to check out some of his workout. Everybody says, "Oh, Victor Andrews, I ain't working out, man." Look at this man's workout, and then come holler at me and see who you'd rather be bothered with. Neither one of us. You don't want to be bothered with neither one of us. But we'll get you to where you want to be, the way you need to be. That's going to fit for you. Like, we're not going to try to kill it. Our workouts are designed for us.
Right.
We try to tell people all the time, it's designed for us. But if you want to come and get your work in, we got you.
Oh, man. Listen, this was a great interview, man.
Yeah, most definitely.
We do this thing each and every show. It's a way for us to give a little bit of motivation, a little bit of hope to the people that listen to us. It's a way for us to almost give a little bit of a ministry and of sorts. Do you have a quote, a word of positivity, a word of motivation to help people get through? Dontae Smiley, do you have a final word for the beautiful people?
Yes. And that final word would be, more than anything, and I wholeheartedly believe this, and it's cliche as hell, but it's what's gotten me through and gotten me laser focused. And I've said it already during this interview, and it's that people have to understand that nobody can do the work for them, right? And that's the thing. Nobody can do the work for you. You want it, you have to do the work. In this world, it may look like handouts, but there is no handouts in this world. You know what I mean? There is no fair in this world. All you can do in life to succeed, that you fully control all the way through, is the work that you put in to do so. Because nobody can stop that. And with that, nobody can stop or block a blessing that you have over your life that you don't let them.
That's right. Oh, man. That was a final word from Deacon Reverend Smiley. Oh, man, you got another calling on your life, brother, man. Hey, listen, you got a voice, my dude, and I think that a lot more people need to hear what you have to say. I think that you are very talented. You're very well spoken, and I think that you're what we need to have, the voice like yours in these locker rooms and the representation like yours on our TV screen. So we wanted to just give you your flowers, my brother. We love your work. We're going to keep on supporting you even after this is done. Anything that you post, we're going to repost. So as we grow, we want to help you grow, man. And if I know if you need anything from Mr. Everything, go ahead and ask him. He ain't gonna say no to you.
Yeah. Oh, that's my dude, bro.
Oh, man. Well, listen, thank you for that final word, man. Where can people find you? What's your social medias and what you got going on?
Most definitely. So Facebook, Dontae Smiley, DONTAE SMILEY. Instagram is at DSmiley Built Different. Twitter is at DSmileyBD. Also, you could Google my name. My SEO has been locked in, so everything about me is going to come up. As I always joke, I say there's more about me on the internet than I wish there was. You know what I'm saying? But it's also at the same time, it's a beautiful thing. But yeah, so those are all the ways, man. Got a lot of good stuff coming up. Got some big shows coming up. Like I said, I'm going to be in Germany twice this year. We're working on Japan as well. We're working on going back out to the UK as well. So I'm really focused on the international travel and getting my name out more that way. Also still reaching out to do the TV stuff with NWA, to get back to doing some stuff with AEW and all that, man, and just keep the marathon going, dude. You know what I mean? Because it's a long race, this wrestling business. And you know what I mean? I'm not going to let the wrestling business take me out. If it ever came down to it, it's going to end when I want it to end, and that end ain't coming no time soon, because I still believe that the best is yet to come for Dontae Smiley when it comes to my professional wrestling career. And I owe myself and my family and this business the time to be able to find that out. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I'm excited.
Awesome. Real quick, what is your goal when it comes to wrestling? Do you have a wrestling goal?
Yes, I do, man. Like straightforward as I want a contract, right? I want to be able to live off of professional wrestling, and that has to come with a contract with a company like TNA, AEW, WWE. Do I have the specific place? Absolutely not. You know what I mean? Because you never know where you're going to go. You never know where you fit in most, because I've only been in one of those locker rooms, which is the AEW locker room. And I do feel like I fit in there. I got a lot of friends there. My style is great for something like that. You know what I mean? It's just all about getting an honest opportunity to fully be able to show what you could do as well. You know what I mean? Everybody does what they can when they get the little spots and stuff like that, when Dark was still around and whatnot. But, everybody's 100% there for them, and we know that. And that's fine, because we get the exposure. Right? Like when we get there, we get paid, we get to be in there with some great athletes, and we get great amount of exposure. But just imagine when people really get an honest opportunity, some of these athletes out here, where you can see it in a little bit they might have did in the 5 minutes that they got it. You give them 10, and you can really see them possibly shine in that, and really see the value in somebody like my man BK got when he faced Hangman. You know what I mean? He got a grave, honest opportunity in that. Did his Doug Dizzle in that match, as he always done. I've been in the ring with brother. He's an amazing wrestler, amazing gimmick. And he went up there and got his eats when he was able to get that 10 minutes on TV with Hangman. You know what I mean? And did it this point, and has definitely reaped the benefits afterwards 100%.
Absolutely. Well, listen, I think you were being a little bit modest, man, because you got the best drop kick in the business, Jack. I see you take a couple of heads off with that drop kick. I was like, damn, how you get up like that?
Kevin Hart.
Yeah, I gotta stretch when I get out of bed, bro. You see, I want to pull a groin muscle or something. I was like, man, he get up pretty high. All right,
that's all that
Godzilla in the mouth.
That's all that CrossFit, bro. That's what that is. And it's funny. So funny story real quick about the drop kick that I'll let y'all in, right? So back in the day, we're talking 2017, 2018, my former tag team partner and I, you can kind of see those right there. Like, we won like tag team of the year here in Texas, like multiple times at a big podcast that covered Texas wrestling. So we were really out there as a tag team for a good while, but we faced Keith Lee and Shane Taylor when they were PBK at VIPX. When we were talking about the match, I told Keith Lee, I was like, hey, when I hit you with the drop kick, like, protect yourself, because I know you're 6'3", 6'4". You ain't used to people getting up there. So please make sure you put your hand up. He was like, all right, cool. He did not put his hand up, and he got his foot busted on accident. Right. I mean, I still got the picture right in the chops, right there. 6'3", 6'4", bro. I was like, oh shit. He was like, no, it was my bad, dude. He was like, you told me. He was like, but then it was there. And I was like, damn.
You told me, but damn, I ain't know it like that. I almost kicked out my molar.
Right. That's funny.
That's awesome, man. Well, listen, we would love to see more from you, my brother. You are always welcome back on this podcast, man. You now a best damn alum of the show. And anytime that you want to come on, if you got something to promote, you got some new music that's dropping you want to share with people, man, we'll play it on all our platforms. But like I said, we wanted to give you your flowers, brother. And we looking forward to some of your future endeavors.
I appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much for having me on.
Oh, of course. Anytime. Mr. Everything, I got to ask you, do you have a final word for your beautiful subjects?
Absolutely. So last week we took a final word from the movie Finding Nemo. This week we're going to take a word from the movie Frozen.
You're a Disney
Look,
kid, can't
look,
you,
man,
boy?
look, man. I got kids, okay? But I've been thinking about it for a while, and it is Grandpappy said that the brain can be easily changed, but the heart not so easily. So I want to say to the beautiful people, your mind can be easily changed, but your heart not so much. When you do something, put all your heart into it and stick with it. Don't let your mind take over your heart and change you or deter you or detour you or send you on a different path from what you want to do. You might sit there and say, oh, I don't think this is going to work. I don't think it's going to come to fruition. I think it's taking too long. But if you really want that, if you really feel it deep in your heart, let your heart guide you and let your mind change to what your heart says, not the other way around.
That's a word. Yo.
That's a word, Jack. That's a beautiful word.
This is why they call me
From
Mr.
your boy.
Everything. This is why they call me Mr. Everything with the green eyes.
I can't follow that one. I can't follow that one. I've let that breathe. That is a great word from your boy, Mr. Everything, Victor Andrews. My name is Brian Renegade. You can find me on all platforms at Brian Renegade. We got some more stuff for you. Oh, tomorrow we got a huge interview we've been talking about him almost all interview, but your boy Sir Mo will be in the building. He's talking about his career, a little bit of training, and some more stuff. So check that out. The interview with Sir Mo, and you can always, like always, check out all of the replays of the show on all of our platforms: iHeartRadio, Spotify, Pandora, all that jazz. Listen, can't hold you no longer. Dontae Smiley, you are a gentleman and a scholar, sir. Thank you for being on this platform. We are looking forward to seeing more from you, my brother.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man.
All right. We will see you next week on the next Best Damn Wrestling Podcast. Beautiful people, we bid you adieu.